Wonderful.
Oh, wow, what a rambunctious crowd. My name is Victoria, and I want to welcome all of you to Weatherforth Bowl. Now, we are part of San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance, which is committed to saving species worldwide by uniting our expertise in animal care and conservation science with our dedication to inspiring and passion for nature. We integrate wildlife healthcare, science, and education to develop sustainable conservation solutions. Now, we have many conservation efforts located all across the globe, but we're going to start in our Amazonia Conservation Hub.
Yay.
Now, here, we and our partners are working to conserve wildlife like the jaguar, Andean bear, New World monkey, and plant life like the orchid. Now, there are many birds in the Amazon that need our help. Macaws are just one of them. They are known for their bright colorations and their loud vocalizations. So without further ado, I think they're ready for us. I'd like to welcome out our flock of macaws. Starting with the left side, we do have our blue and gold pair. That is Sierra and Azul coming on over. Now they are named for their colors, so you're gonna see them showing off that blue and gold colors. You're also gonna meet our pair of scarlet macaws. Oh, right on cue, look at them, heads up. And we also have Mr. Diego here, our green-winged macaw.
The bachelor.
Now, these birds are known to fly up to 15 miles each and every day in search of food and other provisions. One such provision is clay. They are found mounted on clay walls, kind of like Diego's exhibiting, where they consume it, and it's thought to neutralize some of the toxins found in the foods that they eat. Now, the foods that they eat are very important for regrowth of the Amazon. They help replant those trees as they fly around each and every day. Now, one way we can help is by using shade-grown coffee to ensure that the trees that they call home stay where they are, because your coffee beans will taste exactly the same. All right, well, it looks like they're taking off. That was our flock of macaws. Why, thank you. Okay, coming up next, we're gonna head to our Southwest Conservation Hub, which is right here in our own backyard. Here we are working to conserve wildlife like the western burrowing owl, desert tortoise, thick-billed parrot, Kino checker spot butterfly, and the mountain yellow-legged frog. Now, coming up next, we do have a rescued little critter. We have many of those back here at Weatherforth Bowl. And this critter is oftentimes misunderstood. Now, it takes a while for her to snack, so it looks like she's finishing up. She's teaching us all that we need to thoroughly chew our food, which I think is very important. Now, coming up is the only marsupial found in North America. That's right, they are a marsupial. And it is the Virginia opossum. That's right, I said opossum, not possum. Oh, hi, she's like, I'm here. The possum is a marsupial found in Australia. Come on, little ladybug. The opossum is the only one we have here, and they're very different marsupials. But as we know, marsupials are mammals where the female has a pouch. And of course, Penny here does have a pouch because she is a female. Okay, so opossums are very misunderstood for many different reasons, and they are quite amazing little critters. So I'm going to tell you all about them. So, first of all they're oftentimes called a gardener's best friend, because they like to eat some of the rotted vegetation laying around. They'll eat some of the fresh stuff too. But they help clean up the insects and other pests that gardeners don't want in their yard. They also can consume thousands of ticks each and every year. And that helps reduce our exposure to Lyme's disease. That's right there. There's been documentation of, do you need some more of the good stuff? Of opossums grooming other animals like deer, getting the ticks off of them, and filling their tummies with a nice meal. Now, opossums are really important to us humans for other reasons. Now, much of what we know about anti-venom comes from analyzing their blood. Opossums can withstand venomous snake bites. That's absolutely amazing. And it has been noted that they can consume the snake that was trying to harm them right after the event. I know, pretty amazing. That's another way that they help us each and every day without us knowing about it. Now, I know the Academy Awards was last night, and if there was an award for Best Act in Playing Dead, it would go to the opossum, because that is what they're known for. It's called playing possum, and they have a very low body temperature, and what this low body temperature does not only helps them play dead, but it also helps them pretty much makes it so it's impossible for them to contract rabies. Another side note. So if you're worried about opossums giving your pet rabies, they really can't contract it. There's only been a small handful of cases. So they're not really a threat. Okay, so back to their acting. So they already have a low body temperature, about 94 degrees. It drops even lower. They secrete a horrible smell. Their tongue hangs out. So when a predator gets close enough, they assume that this potential prey item or potential meal might not be good, maybe healthy, maybe diseased, maybe there's something wrong with it. And predators are smart, so it moves on. And then minutes to hours later, because it is an involuntary response, the opossum will wake up, hopefully in one whole piece, and continue on. Now I mentioned Penny as a rescue. We do get a lot of rescues around these parts. And the rule of thumb is if the opossum is big enough that they don't fit in the palm of your hand, they don't need any help. But if they're too small, that means that they must have fallen off mother's back. Yeah, mom can carry up to about 8 baby opossums. And it means they lost sight of mom and they need to be rescued. And with that, looks like she left some leftovers. I'll leave them here for our next guest. He's gonna want them. That was our wonderful Virginia opossum, Penelope. And I hope each of you care for opossums a little bit more now. Alrighty, I'm gonna pass you off to my co-care specialist, Shauna.
Thank you, Victoria. How you guys doing so far? Give her one big round of applause. That was great. How's everybody doing so far?
Wonderful.
Yes, I love all the energy and all the people in this heat. Yes, well, we're about to have some more fun, so don't worry, don't go anywhere. But we are going to step away from our hubs for just a second, and we're going to talk about San Diego Zoo's One Health approach to saving wildlife worldwide. And we believe that the health of our planet, people, and wildlife are all interconnected. We all need each other to thrive. It is the core of our mission and the thread that runs through all of those conservation projects we have going around. Now, one of the greatest examples of species kind of relying on other species for survival is all of our interactions and sometimes even dependencies on canines. Raise your hand if you have a dog at home. All right, it's about maybe 30% of you, right? Almost half. Well, canines have been helping humans for centuries, from when they used to help us hunt and protect us, and now, of course, they're man's best friend. They also help with sometimes service dogs. I think there might be one in the audience right now. So they help us all over the place. But did you know that canines also help with conservation? They have an amazing sense of smell, and they can use that smell to help us with all sorts of conservation projects all over the world, basically finding different species. Now we're going to talk a little bit more about that, but what's more fun is to show you how these dogs are helping us. And we have hid an object, I don't know what object, I don't know where it is, anywhere on this presentation area, and our next guest is going to find it the same way our conservation dogs help us find other things like that. So without further ado, please welcome out Elvis! Excited to go. Oh, the door is shut.
Run, Tony.
Where is it? He's on the hunt. He is looking for an object. It usually has a scent on it that he has been taught to find. It doesn't matter what the object is. It matters the smell. Using that sense of smell. Oh, he got it! Good job, Elvis. Very, very nice. Now, today, Elvis has found a stuffed koala. That is to represent one of our conservation dogs named Smudge. Was trained to find, taking his 15-minute break as he is due by the union. Good job, Elvis. Sorry, I've never used that joke. It's pretty good.
I swear he waits to pee out here.
A conservation dog named Smudge that actually helped find all of those koalas that had lost their homes from those Australian fires back quite a few years ago. And that dog would find the koalas, point them out, and then many of them were saved. We also have dogs that find cheetah scat, which is a fancy word for cheetah poop. It is a very good way that we can do lots of studies on cheetahs without actually bothering cheetahs as well. So lots of different ways. Those are just 2 examples. You can see Elvis is incredibly intelligent, right? Now he comes out here and he shows all of you how those dogs are helping us with conservation. He knows over a dozen behaviors. As you can see, he doesn't need a collar and leash out here. He is an amazing dog. Unfortunately for Elvis, though, one of the reasons why we have him is because
Sometimes they look.
he was slated to work for Guide Dogs of America. It is a very intense program. I found that many dogs cannot pass that program. We don't like to say Elvis failed the program. So what we like to say is that he got career reassigned. Right around the time that he didn't pass the program, there was a wildlife ambassador that needed a friend desperately, and we thought, let's try it out. We've been doing this type of interaction for about 40 years here at the zoo, so it wasn't our first time doing this. However, they were a little bit older when they were introduced, and they get along perfectly. Would you like to meet Elvis's friend?
Yes.
Now, when she's good and ready, representing our African Savannah hub.
What?
We're working on big things like, oh, there she is. We're working on things
Ilangha.
like elephants, rhinos, giraffes, Grevy's zebras, and of course, cheetahs. We are representing
Melissa and
Ilangha,
Ellie.
our South African cheetah. Now, if you're just coming in, just go ahead and take a seat for me, please. Thank you so much. Everyone that's coming in right here, just take a seat. And if everyone else, you've been such great guests. Thank you so much. Just stay seated. I'm going to try to find a spot that I'm out of the way so you can get a good look at this beautiful cat. Now, Ilangha, like I said, is a South African cheetah. These 2 are buddies. They've been together since they were just a few months of age. They are now both 10 years old, and they do everything together except eat together, because remember, Elvis didn't quite pass that program, and part of it was because he has a huge food drive, and he would try to steal Ilangha's food. So we don't do that, right? But other than that, they do everything together, including these presentations. So thank you all so much for staying seated, and Ilangha is going to come right up close and personal for you to see this beautiful, beautiful cat. Now, cheetahs are the fastest land mammal in the world. Does anyone want to know how fast they are? That is a really good guess. Not quite 250 miles per hour. However, they can get up to 70 miles per hour. So kids, when you drive with your parents in the car and they take the highway home, you look at that speedometer. When they reach up to 70 miles per hour, just imagine Ilangha running alongside your car. That's as fast as they can run. The acceleration is even more impressive. 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds. So just count to 3 really slowly, and you've got her going 60 miles. That is your photo. Please take as many as you'd like. They love it. Look at their tails just wrapped around him. It's adorable. All right, now, like I said, they are the fastest land mammals in the world. They have lots of adaptations to help them. You're looking at her body. She's very streamlined, very muscular, back legs. But you'll also notice that for such a large cat, she's about 90 pounds, she does have a very small head. We call that a bullet-shaped head. It gives them more aerodynamics when they're racing through the ground. And then also right here in the front, you can see her claws. Cheetahs have very specialized claws that are semi-retractable, which means that she only can bring them into her sheath a little bit, and she keeps her claws out almost all of the time. That is to give her what we call traction. So if you play sports and you wear cleats, it's basically like she has built-in cleats, and that helps her grip the ground so that she can get up to those speeds. They have larger nostrils to take in more oxygen, a larger heart and lung capacity to pump oxygen through their blood at a faster rate so that they can get up to those speeds. You'll also notice this long, beautiful tail, a really awesome adaptation that cheetahs have. When they are chasing after those gazelles, which can also run pretty fast, sometimes those gazelles change direction while the cheetah is soaring through the sky about to get her kill. Well, they use that long, long tail like the rudder of a boat, simply flick it from the left to the right to change direction in midair so that they can catch up to those gazelles. They are incredibly talented and skilled and highly specialized cat. that we are very passionate about here at Weggeforth Bowl. Unfortunately, though they are so specialized and different from all other cats, they are critically endangered. There's about 7,000 cheetahs left in the wild today. 100 years ago, there were 100,000. When I started a few years ago, there were 15,000. So the numbers are going down. Give it up, I'll give you that story in a second. That was Ilangha and Elvis, the famous duo here at the San Diego Zoo. And just to end on a high note, those numbers are going down, but we are doing our best very diligently with other organizations all over the world to try to help cheetahs come back from the brink of extinction. We are helping with programs over in Africa that are trying to combat all of the issues that they are facing, including human interaction, the illegal pet, all sorts of things. But we are helping, and Ilangha, that you just was born right at our sister facility at our Cheetah Ambassador Program area, conservation area, I'm sorry. And she was the 159th cheetah born over there, and we've had over 170, 180 cheetahs born there since the 1970s. So we're doing our part to try to get some cheetahs around and working with organizations all over for that. And we can't do it without all of your help, so that's why I always like to thank all of you for coming here, because you really do help with all of the programs that we go have all over the world. Now, the San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance is creating a world where all life thrives, and never has this been more important. As first responders in the field, we are there applying a century's worth of wildlife knowledge to global conservation challenges. We collaborate, we innovate, we hope we inspire you for people and wildlife to thrive together for a healthy planet. Thank you so much for being here. We hope you learned something and had a great time. Stay cool, everyone. Have a great day at the world famous San Diego Zoo. Bye-bye.
Thank you.